versus me asking?
Well, I'm always good for firing away.
All right.
And
Okay.
well, we can.
Hi, is it okay if I tell everyone on the air that you're calling in from Israel?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. That'd be kind of add a little excitement to the equation. Okay. All right.
Well, I'm okay with.
You okay?
We can go back and forth and just kind of go
Okay.
down the line here.
Hold on. I want to make sure I can hear. Okay, I can hear
Once
there.
you start hearing what we're talking
Here.
about, you'll probably.
All right. You guys ready?
Hang on a sec.
Mark ready? Patti, are you ready?
Yeah.
You got some good stuff too. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna start off with our.
Yes or no?
I haven't done anything but
Okay,
these.
I've
I've got tons of stuff, so I see.
Okay,
Fine.
good. Then we've got Chaya on here, so.
All right.
We'll start off with Chaya, because she's on the phone here. Okay, are you ready? And away. Okay, and that's going, right? Let's see the little numbers on there. Just want to make sure it's going. And yes, it is. Okay. All right. Okay, and away we go. Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing on Talk 910. I'm your host, Edward Brown, and I'm proud to have as my co-host Mark Hunt of Pacific Private Money, one of California's fastest growing mortgage investment firms, and Patti Cohn of Pacific Union International. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. You're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for 3 vacations given away during this show. Those vacations are not sponsored by the radio station, but by Lighthouse Resort and Marina, located about 1 hour northeast of San Francisco. Those vacations are free. Their only request, a $100 cleaning fee to cover the housekeeping expenses. Today's trivia theme is random trivia. All right? And today's special guest comes all the way from Israel. Her name is Chaya Hendrick of SmartMetric. Chaya, welcome to the Best of Investing.
Hi, thank you for having us on.
You're welcome.
Well, you're coming in pretty clear for being halfway across the country, and I guess we're talking to you at 2 a.m. Israel time, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Copied up and ready to go.
Okay, if we hear a couple of yawns, we'll excuse you on that.
So for the audience, SmartMetric's product that you're just presented to a forum recently is a smart credit card, the world's first sub-micro miniature fingerprint scanner.
Wow.
Credit card. So it's essentially, and it's what Chaya, it was great. I watched the video on your website, and so what I saw was it was like a debit card or a credit card where it's basically a dead piece of plastic until you swipe your finger over it. It reads your fingerprint, and now you have a safely activated and secure method for transactions. Am I describing it correctly?
Yes, you are. You've done a great job.
Yeah, I was going to say, sound like a salesman.
So
What we've done is turn the humble credit card into a high-tech device, and we've embedded a fingerprint scanner. I'm not sure if your listeners travel a lot. If they go through airports these days, you're asked to give your thumbprint in some foreign countries, and
Oh, yeah.
countries you hold hands as you're entering, in some places as you're going as well. Well, what we've done is taken that very large technology piece of equipment and reduced it down to incredible thickness. It's actually 1/4 the thickness of all of the components, electronic, 1/4 the thickness of a credit card. It has to be thinner than a credit card to be able to be turned into a plastic card. And that's taken us close to a decade of research and development. We're very proud of our world-class achievements.
well, that's amazing. So how exactly do you miniaturize a fingerprint reader to fit inside a credit card?
You saw the show called Honey, I Shrunk the Kid?
That's right.
Well, that's what we did. We invented that zapper. No, I'm joking.
Of course.
We've taken complex components such as the Cortex processor, similar to what you find in a Samsung phone. But in the Samsung phone, that processor is about 1/8 of an inch thick, way too thick to be able to put inside a credit card. We've had to engineer from the ground up vaccine processor is on a piece of silicon thinner than what comes out of Intel. Silicon that's almost like tissue paper thin, and we've done that with other components as well. I'm not going to let all of our secrets out of exactly how we've gone about and done that. But,
suffice to say that it's been major miniaturization, which is just quite amazing. So Chaya, you just revealed this product. You just recently publicly promoted it for the first time at an industry event. I guess it was a payments forum for, I guess, the credit card and payments industry in Orlando, Florida. How did that go? How was your product? How did the public react to it?
Well, it was a show for the industry. It was the banks and people in the credit card manufacturing world. We had an exhibition stand. We were the most popular. It was non-stop for us. We've had some of the largest banks in the country sit down and talk with us, and some of the largest card manufacturers that are now talking with us about partnering with being able to get this out in large scale across not only the United States, but in other parts of the world as well.
Of course. So are you the only product so far to have launched like this?
Well, there's been some, so there's about another two companies we're aware of that have been working on trying to do this. We're the only one that has successfully got a credit card working in conjunction with the EMV chip card. Everybody's heard of chip and PIN or EMV or chip cards. A lot of your listeners by now would start to have received these from their banks. Well, we're the only ones that have actually connected the fingerprint scanning with chip card, so that when you roll your finger across the little scanner on the surface of the card, it then scans, matches, and compares your fingerprint in 0.25 of a second, and then it will activate that chip on the card.
Well, let me ask you, Chaya, how does the rechargeable battery, because I understand this thing has a battery inside, how does that work?
That's works by magic.
Yeah, there you go. That's all we needed to know. Magic.
That makes sense.
Now, if I give another answer, like a more technical answer, I'm going to start to educate potential competitors.
Well, I guess the thing is, I mean, you don't have to plug it in, right?
Well, it's just very basically when you insert it into your ATM machine, or if you're at your retail store and you're inserting it into the reader, we take a charge from the ATM machine or the reader down through the chip to a very, very complex sophisticated management system that then recharges.
So it's almost like a car battery, where the more as you use the car, it recharges itself. If that's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Like, okay, so as you use it.
Yes, that's a great illustration.
So Chaya, you've proposed a credit card to the industry that instead of the type of credit cards that we have now, where you have to enter in a PIN, the card gets activated by the user by swiping their fingerprint. So would this require new equipment or special equipment for the industry?
No, that's a great question. What we decided to do, as being a business, we saw that if you have to change procedures and processes, the adoption will take a lot longer.
Yeah.
So what we did is layered the biometric technology inside the card. We used exactly the same card that's being used now. So if the card is a chip and with the PIN test of ATM card, you need to use your ATM machine, you will still need to use your PIN. But what we've done is layered the biometric security on top of everything. Now, in reality, the length to do away with signature, because you've got the ultimate validation and verification of what are used to verify biometrics.
So what about the concern about credit card fraud? I mean, I'm thinking, okay, everyone's got their own fingerprint, so that would be kind of hard. But there's got to be, thieves are always figuring out ways around that stuff.
Well, first of all, is so much safer than a 4-digit code. I can show you programs you can run on a smartphone that can crunch a 4-digit code for any credit card number, and whammo, they've got access to your money.
So if someone asks to borrow my thumb, I should say no. It sounds like.
Correct. Look, our card detects if the finger is live or not. It's very clever technology in the card. Getting a rubber copy of a person's fingerprints on that.
So Chaya, one more question I have for you. So is this the type of card that do you think the industry is going to pay the costs, I guess, of adopting a card like this, or is this something that maybe they might offer to their users for an extra fee if they want this added security?
Well, American Express, a great company, has proven time and again that selling quality and a premium card is not a difficult thing to do. We talking to the marketing people inside some of the biggest card issuers around the world, they see this being offered as a premium card, and we hope, like with an Apple phone, it will be seen very much as a status symbol. That I've got this great new high-tech credit card that's going to protect me against fraud. As I go down to the restaurant, and all my friends around the table are saying, "Oh, what's up?"
So, Chaya, but before we let you go, tell people if they're interested in this kind of technology or your company, how would they get a hold of you and/or your company?
Something called the internet.
Never heard of it.
Use the Google.
Our internet address is www.smartmetric. It's all one word, smart, because we're smart people.
Yeah.
Metric biometric. Smartmetric.com.
Okay. Very good. Very interesting about basically a credit card that uses your fingerprint. I like
Absolutely.
it.
That's
I like
the future. I believe it.
Yeah, it is. Chaya Hendrick, the president of SmartMetric. Thank you so much for joining us on the Best of Investing.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Well, that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Very interesting.
All right, guys, we went over a little bit longer, but that's okay.
That's exactly what I needed because I did no preparation.
Well, no.
And then it was just given to me.
Well,
Can't admit that on the
I
air,
have lots of good stuff for you.
But I mean, I could just
You can always think on your feet,
Oh,
right?
And there's
Okay.
nothing really to say. It's just what's going on in the market.
What's going on in the market?
Yeah.
Okay, so here is our, before we go to our first commercial break, we want to make another announcement here for a Burgers on the Vineyard located in Cloverdale, California. So situated at the confluence of three of California's greatest wine growing regions, a Burgers on the Vineyard is the perfect starting point to discover the charms of Sonoma and Mendocino counties. Check them out at www.sonomabedbreakfastinwinecountry.com. That's got to be the longest website address I've ever heard. Or you can call 707-894-5956. And I love these bed and breakfasts. They're awesome. Okay, here is our first commercial break trivia question. Random trivia. Which U.S. state's highest point is only 345 feet above sea level? All right. The first caller with the correct answer wins a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. Which U.S. state's highest point is only 345 feet above sea level? Stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing. We'll be right back.
Something in that west.
All right.
Yay.
All right.
I guess would be either Miami or Louisiana.
Wait, we're talking
Well,
about
it's state. So which state?
Yeah.
State,
You
yeah.
have to
Oh, I mean Florida. Yeah, Florida or
But
Louisiana.
Florida's-
Or does Florida have any mountains? Louisiana have any mountains?
Something
Mississippi.
in those plains. It's
Let's see,
flat, you know.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, right? Those are the ones that boundary
And so the emails that came in for Patti in today's market, will you be able to get me multiple offers? Today is multiple offers.
Yes.
And Mark, how
How are
come
we gonna
FICO scores don't matter to you that much? Cause it's the cuz rule.
Cuz.
C-U-Z.
Yes. Because I said so.
Because I said so. Exactly.
FICO, we don't care.
That's funny.
I just got done showing property.
Don't need those thinking FICO.
Here. Need this guy anymore. Here.
Don't break it. Yeah. All right. It's nice not to be like on the clock because I usually have to jam out of here.
Thursdays, yes.
Get to my go in traffic. Get to my personal training. Try to-
Oh, I see, because it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
Today's
Thursday.
Tuesday.
But we have a Thursday and Friday. Actually, a gig tomorrow night, then all day
Yeah, tomorrow night,
Thursday,
that's right.
and then all day Friday.
Don't worry, I won't wear shorts. Any of those days.
Yeah. Joe Rico stopped by. I
Oh, did
don't
he?
know if I've ever met him before, so I
Joel?
recognize him or not. Joe Rico
Oh,
from
okay,
Wells
so I know
Fargo,
it.
who,
I know what Joel was
Yeah.
so I
Joel?
got-
Oh,
I was
really?
thinking-
Joel
Yeah.
Rico.
So say Joe Rico.
Joe.
I saw Joel Gray is an author of a new book that was on People magazine. My wife reads People. It's always open to some random page in the bathroom, and I'm looking at her. Joel Gray, I didn't even know he was still alive.
Yeah, really?
I guess he wrote a book on whatever. I don't know if it's an autobiography or something.
Cabaret.
Life is a cabaret.
So
Is
did
that
Joe,
the only thing he
was he just listening, just for fun? or-
Yeah, he was across the street. He
Oh.
walked out, saw it, goes, I know those guys. Walked in, said hi.
Yes, he saw
was on his way to
the
the
video
appointment.
office. Very good. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Just say I'm a professional. I'm always ready.
I heard somebody say, I'm like lunch meat, I'm always ready.
I like that one. Okay, here we go. Make a little announcement for these guys too. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hunt and Patti Cohen. When we cut to the first commercial break, we asked this trivia question: which U.S. state's highest point is only 345 feet above sea level?
Oh, we were going back and forth. Let's see. We have Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida. I'm going to go Louisiana.
No,
Something in the Midwest,
no,
No.
Ohio?
no.
Rhode
You did say it before.
Florida.
Yes,
Florida.
it was
Wow.
Florida.
I
Should
thought
have
Florida was too easy.
should have stayed with your first gut
All right.
instinct. Okay. Quick mention here for Beach Blanket Babylon. They're doing a little. Oh, it's so much fun. In fact, if you go on their website, it's so funny to have like Donald Trump with this huge hair. You know, and I got to go see it because in looking at the website, it's like this one's different than it was 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
All because of like the election and stuff. So you got to check them out at beachblanketbabylon.com. All right.
Good.
So let's see here. Mark.
Got some goodies.
Some goodies.
Well, I got a couple of articles from one of the economists that I follow regularly, and he's a California economist. In fact, he's speaking at an event, Edward, that you and I are going to be going to shortly. And the gentleman is Christopher Thornburg, PhD economist, specializes in California economy. And in fact, I'm looking very much forward to. Usually, he puts up about like 50 different slides and gives you all kinds of information till your eyes glaze over. But hopefully, your eyes won't glaze over on this information. He's talking about the California, housing crisis. And interestingly enough, he's quoted here is the reason why California faces a housing affordability crisis is simple. Lots of people want to live in the state, and there aren't enough houses for them. Duh, right?
Yeah.
And he goes on to say, you don't need a PhD in economics to understand this. Of course, he does have a PhD in economics. He says it's basic supply and demand. But what's interesting about the article is it really talks about things that I think we know really affect housing here, not only in the Bay Area, but in California at large. And it's just that, state lawmakers and the existing regulations, they're just not doing anything to make it easier to build homes. And even those politicians who have authored a handful of bills that are floating around Sacramento right now aimed at increasing the number of homes and the future availability of homes in the state, they can see that their efforts only scratch the surface of the problem.
Well, it's all these fees that they keep adding, inspection fees and park in lieu fees.
Well, it's the fees, and it also says that legislators have shied away from tackling broad efforts to increase the housing supply, such as overhauling something that a lot of listeners may never even heard of. Have you ever heard the term CEQA?
Yes.
Well, CEQA, you and I have that word because we've been in the real estate business for 30 years, and CEQA is a four-letter word. To anybody in the real estate industry, CEQA stands for California Environmental Quality Act. Now, that sounds like a good thing, right? It's there to protect the quality of California's environment. But it's had a lot of side effects, and among the side effects of CEQA are it's helped to put a severe constraint on the amount of houses that get built in communities across the state, and particularly here in the Bay Area. So, this article goes on to tell us what we already know. California finds itself in a deep housing hole, and everyone is feeling the results. The state's average home price of $460,000 is more than double the national average. And over the last 3 decades, the state would have needed to build millions of new homes. And in fact, I don't think we've built a million new homes in the last 10 years. If we had any hope of keeping housing prices anywhere near in line with the rest of the country. So, is there a point to this article? Well, the point is that there is a belief that maybe at the state level that there's recognition that, guys, we're not going to cure this problem unless we tackle some of the stringent regulations that impact the ability to build homes. So there are state lawmakers that have authored some bills. So we'll see what happens. But until that happens, I guess really the net result is going to be that we're going to continue to see tight inventory, tight supply, and due to the kind of economics 101 that we all understand, supply and demand, if demand is increasing for homes in California, and it is, and supply is not keeping pace, what's going to happen to the price of homes in California?
Well,
I got this. It's going to go up.
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
Yeah, and I mean, but we need to also look at one of the reasons why California is so desirable. What makes California special? The weather, and also how desirable it is because it's gorgeous. Look at, for instance, Marin County. Marin County, 84% is dedicated open space. So
that's amazing.
One of the reasons we don't have inventory is zoning, and I think the way zoning has happened in the Bay Area is really quite nice.
Well, there was a project in West Marin some years ago where there was 535 acres, and the developer had to donate 500 acres so he could build on 35.
Right, there you go. I mean,
Classic.
actually, King Mountain is now listed for at the top of Larkspur, top of Ridgecrest. I just sold one right next door. But King Mountain is listed for, I think, 39 million. I think it's, I can't remember. I want to say 90 acres. But guess how many homes you can put on it? One.
You know what?
You can do a compound.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between that and I own 200 acres in a place called Portal, Arizona. It's got a house on it. I actually own a whole mountain, and I can't give it away.
Exactly. So that's part of what makes the Bay Area special. We're not LA. We're not urban sprawl. Our weather is amazing. That's never going to change. But zoning is what really makes us special.
Yeah.
So net, we have 76% less inventory now than we did in 2012.
I assume when you say we're special, that's actually a good thing.
Yes,
okay.
in that special.
Not like, he's special.
Yeah.
Okay. So another article I found from Chris Thornburg that I thought I'd share with you was he wrote a piece in his blog about the U.S. financial market drama, and it's subtitled "Much Ado About Nothing." And I bring this up because we just got finished talking about housing, and it doesn't look like housing is going to stop its appreciation run in the Bay Area, at least based on all of the numbers that keep coming out month after month right now. But what about the economy at large? What about the stock market and what's been happening there, and other fears about maybe we're heading into another recession? And so Chris is going to share a couple of tidbits from his most recent blog from last month. It says the year started out with a thud rather than a bang, as financial markets across the globe saw major sell-offs. But whatever was driving the alarm appears to have faded. Major stock indexes have already regained much of the ground lost since the start of the year. Of course, we all know that. We're reaching new highs right now in the indexes. And what's interesting is that he says that this was the fourth time that the U.S. markets have seen a double-digit meltdown in the stock market since the last recession came to an end. And it's generally accepted that the last recession ended way back in 2009. And what's interesting is this is the first time during a supposedly in-between recessions, because we're basically in a growing economy, but we've never had 4 stock market sell-offs greater than 10% in one cycle.
Are we in remission, basically?
Yeah.
Well, we're supposedly in a growing economy, not in a recession. So again, not everybody feels the same way about that. So he talks about how markets, the stock markets that is, are not a great barometer of the economy. In fact, economist Paul Samuelson famously quipped that the stock markets had predicted 9 out of the last 5 recessions.
Well, and my dad used to tell me that the stock market was usually about 18 months ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That was more the indicator.
Well, and so although every recession comes with major sell-offs in the equities market and sharp declines in stocks, but not every sell-off in the stock market necessarily occurs in concert with a recession. So far from being a perfect predictor of the economy's direction, many times the market drop occurs when there is no slowing of the real economy at all. So he goes on to say his summary, the current expansion, which started in 2009, has already seen 4 sell-offs. So why is the market so unstable this time around? Well, it could be due to a new era of high-speed trading, he muses, or the slow pace of the economic recovery, or perhaps the movement of the markets to a new low interest rate and high asset value equilibrium, whatever that means. I guess you have to have a PhD in economics to understand that. What is important to understand is that the stock market, never a good predictor of the onset of another recession, has now lost any credible predictive value. That's his opinion. I tend to concur with that.
Yeah.
If you are worried about when the next recession is going to begin, your best bet is to stop paying attention to the market.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, on that note, we're going to cut to another commercial break. When we come back, we've got a couple of interesting emails. One for Patti that discusses multiple offers, and one for Mark that talks about FICO scores. Kind of interesting here. Quick mention here for you get ready for this one. The Napa Valley Jazz Getaway is one of California's premier wine and jazz festivals in the heart of the wine country. A 5-day celebration. This festival brings together the best wines of Napa Valley as well as several renowned jazz musicians. Events are held across multiple theaters and vineyards, June 8th to the 12th. Check them out at www.jazzgetaway.com for tickets. All right, here is our next trivia question. An ounce of which metal can be stretched 10,000 feet? That's a lot of feet.
That's a lot of feet.
All right, call 888-912-1190 to answer that question. Don't touch that dial. The Best of Investing will be right back. All right. Yeah, kind of fun questions for you this time.
An ounce stretched 10,000 feet. Wow, I have no idea.
I said it's metal, so.
So you can go to Patti on the next one.
Sure.
Give her some time to talk about stuff. Are you reading?
Sign the
Are you
contract.
reading your email?
Well, I'm getting offers. I have offers and listings coming in. They're not there.
Good for you. Yeah.
I'm
that's
sure going
awesome.
to read them while the downtime's in.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So I got a 9 listing, 2.7.
Nice.
I got an offer.
2.7.
Do you know of any developers who would be interested in Benicia? We're talking about building,
Okay,
right? We've
cool.
got 6 lots ready to get final map to build on.
What are the lots like? I mean, they
2,000 square feet,
Okay.
and you can put
Wait,
800
2,000 square feet?
Yeah. And, I mean, no, I'm sorry. The houses would be 2,000
Okay.
square feet, and you can put an 800-foot casita, which I don't think anybody's got that.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
But what are they? I mean, are they in a little subdivision? Are they near
Yeah,
downtown?
it'll be
in the
it's
hills?
right off of Military West on Benicia, in Benicia off 780.
Is
Okay.
it view?
It's got a view,
lots?
yeah, it's got a view,
Oh, it has a view.
of Cockina Strait. I don't know if all of them do, but some would.
So many of the developers, so many of the builders I work with,
Uh-huh.
they're like, I'm not doing it anymore. Between the regulations, the red tape, you can't make money.
Yeah.
And the little town, it's like Cimarron, like the towns where it's like not in my backyard. Next thing you can't build anything. Like I had a lot, and that same builder I had one
Well,
with a lot for sale.
this is tentatively mapped, so it's just ready for the final map.
That'll be different, they
Yeah.
probably could work. How much do you think, well, I'd have to look.
Well, we were
into it.
asking 590, but I'd rather JV it with somebody, because
Yeah.
I don't want to just give up the ship at 590, because we're going to do a short sale at that.
So I wonder, so those 2,000 square foot houses, what would they sell for?
Well, with the casita, it's about 900,000.
And there's five?
That's
Five.
6 of them.
6 of them.
Yeah.
Wow,
So we'll
nice.
throw the land in. All we need is some builder developer who can qualify for a construction loan, because we'll subordinate and all that kind of fun stuff.
I'll think about that.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? What's up, Avy? Cool. Welcome back to The Best of Investing. Again, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hunt and Patti Cohen. When we cut to the second commercial break, we asked this trivia question. An ounce of which metal can be stretched 10,000 feet? What kind of metal can be stretched 10,000 feet? Come on. How many different metals do you know?
It's not aluminium, is it?
Aluminium? No, but it's close to aluminium. Platinum.
Wow.
Platinum, you can actually do it. I would have thought it would have been gold, because I know gold's a soft metal. But
Yeah.
All right, so Patti, email came in for you that says, in today's market, will you be able to get me multiple offers?
Good
See,
question.
that is a really
Well,
good
first of all, you
question.
have to be the listing agent in order to get a
Yeah.
multiple offer.
First, you need to list with me.
Yeah.
No. So, I mean, if you think about it, like, let's just, like, basic 101, 4 reasons a property sells. Location, so your house is where it is. 2, condition, so there's a lot of things that a sharp listing agent can do to make it shine.
Okay.
And 3, marketing, which, you know, again, get somebody that knows how to play the game
Yeah.
and really get you to the highest price possible. And 4 is price, and 75% of it is price. So let's just take a round number of $1 million, which in the Bay Area right now, the median price is pretty much $1 million, give or take. Except if you go too far out. But anyway, so $1 million. Let's just say it's worth $1 million for real in the fair market value.
Okay.
Now, if we price it at 1.1, we're probably not going to get multiple offers. If we price it at 900, we're definitely going to get multiple offers.
Okay.
We price it at 800. You know, you got to be brave, but San Francisco, that's what they do more than ever is price it at like 750, and you're going to get like 1.3 maybe.
Even in today's market?
Even in today's market. We have 76% less inventory than we did in 2012. And even at that, though, the market has slowed down a little bit. So, you know, sales are definitely down, and when people hear that, they think, is our market changing? Sales volume is down,
So
but prices are up.
Okay,
So right, I was going to say, so when you say the market is slowing down, prices are not slowing down, appreciation is not slowing down, correct me if I'm wrong. It's slowing down because I guess the tight inventory has gotten even tighter and there's fewer transactions
Well,
or fewer properties on the market? Or?
It really kind of doesn't make sense, which tells you that the market is swaying a little bit more toward the buyers. So even with 76% less inventory, the market, the sales volume is down. It's just down because there's less to sell. So
Sure.
I'm not saying the market is slowing down. I'm just saying the sales volume, the number of sales are down.
Okay.
However, it is taking a little bit longer to sell. The average in March was 21 days, but I'm telling you it's less than last year. The rate of appreciation has slowed down.
Okay.
So why is it that, you know, it's taking longer to sell, and it's slightly going toward the buyer's side. So it tells you the market has slowed down. So if we had more inventory, then we'd be seeing, it would be a problem.
Okay, so a question for you. Let's say the person in San Francisco takes the tactic, okay, we're going to price it at 800 knowing we're going to get multiple offers, expecting 1.3 or 1.2 or something, and an offer comes in at 900. And that's, let's say, the only offer.
Yeah.
So it's above asking, and it's an all-cash offer.
Yeah.
Does the seller have to accept that offer?
No, they don't. I mean, yes and no. Legally, yes, they have a contract with the listing broker to sell the house. But as a practical matter, agents don't really hold sellers to that.
But let's say me, the buyer.
Could the buyer,
Or is it just an offer? You know what I mean? It's not.
Right, it's not accepted.
it's not accepted, and is it going to close is it all cash and close in a minute? You know, it's arguable. And, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like the terms. You know. So as a practical matter, no.
So it's really only if it gets accepted and then the seller has remorse, then they can sue for specific performance.
Yeah, specific performance. It's over for sellers.
Okay, because I'll bet that there are a lot of people out there who just think, oh, I don't want to do this at 800 because if I get any offer of 800 or above, all cash, I have to accept it. And that's not the case.
Right. That is not the case. You do not have to accept any offer. And at the same time, let's go back to, is my house going to have multiple offers? Well, if your house is $4 million and, you know, you're in an area where there's very few $4 million houses, you probably won't get multiple offers.
Yeah.
So you better be careful and price it correctly.
And do you think, a lot of times you hear, you know, they're usually the first offer is the best offer.
Yeah, it's true.
Is that true?
Yeah, at least the first offerer. That's the person we need to be working with. Like, so if they came in at, you know, 980, we're gonna get them up to 1.1, or perhaps. I mean, depends what.
Yeah, what's an extra 100,000+ between friends, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is, back to multiple offers. It's really important to see what the price range is, but also where it is. So if you've got 3 strikes against you in real estate, then you just have a really tough house to sell. A strike would be on a busy street, 72 stairs to get up there, you know, cracked foundation. So you just got to price that thing correctly.
Or a cracked house.
A cracked house. Yeah, you got 3 strikes against it. Exactly.
Anything with the word crack in it is not a good thing.
So Patty, I find it interesting that, so, you know, you're on the front lines as a top agent. You know what's happening. You know, you feel the pulse of the market as it's happening in real time today. Because all we have in terms of information, data, hard data, is a lagging indicator. So, for example, last week, the S&P, the S&P Dow Jones Index, also called the Case-Shiller Index, which listeners have heard me talk about before, came out with the month, the latest report, and now this is, you know, again, it's like a 60 to 90 day lag. So now we're talking about February, what was happening in February. And what's interesting is for the previous 6 months, San Francisco Bay Area has been enjoying, I guess, or experiencing a year-over-year appreciation rate of right around 10%. It's gone up to about 10.5 and down to a little bit under 10. And so the results for February just came out, and guess what it was? I'm wondering if it's a blip, but it was just slightly less. So we're down to about 9% year over year. So again, you know, is that a trend or is that just a statistical blip?
No, it's a trend. It's been a trend for years.
Right, and what you're saying is that, okay, well, 60 to 90 days later, I mean, this is old data that's telling us, you know, home prices are still going up almost 10%, and you're starting to see what, you know, could be a flattening of price. And there's probably an economic term of that, like price elasticity or something like that.
Yeah.
How much higher can you go with you know, based on other market dynamics, and it looks like it's, so what you're experiencing is maybe a little bit of flattening at the plateau.
Yeah, I mean, the economy is changing too. There's definitely softening in the tech sector. There is, millennials are taking longer to do anything. You know, so
darn
anyway, so the market's changing, and people are getting priced out. They're just like sick of it. They're saying, I'm going to buy that horrible house for
2,000 square foot.
You know, for 2,000 square feet or for $2 million, and they're just not doing it. But I mean, that is not to say this is still a strong seller's market. It's just slightly changing.
Okay. Interesting. Elasticity. My boxer shorts have elasticity, but it ain't price elasticity. Elasticity. Okay, Patti. Before we cut to another commercial break, how do people get a hold of you?
I'm Patti Cohn, COHN with Pacific Union International, 415-722-4842.
She's the best. Give her a call. All right, here's our third and final trivia question. Approximately 115 tons of this enters the Earth's atmosphere each second. What is it? This is one of those science questions for your Poindexters out there. All right? You're listening to The Best of Investing. Call 888-912-1190 to answer that question. We'll be right back.
God, this is the crazy. This is like law of attraction. I just got a message, an email message from my boyfriend in 7 years in college, said if I would call the radio station, my question would be, maybe I should say it that way. I haven't read it yet. But isn't that funny? We're here right now.
That's great.
What would you do if you stopped working in your field but was too young to retire? Oh, 4 months ahead already bored it all out. No. Yeah. It's very boring if you don't know what you're doing and you retire prematurely.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we got a good. Yeah, it's like good, healthy segment.
Okay, we'll go into your question, and then we'll ask if there's any deals of the week type of thing.
A deal of the week, but
We could
talk a little bit about
we could talk about.
the fund a little bit.
Okay.
Didn't get a chance to throw that in.
We've got, well, as we say, that we're waiting for this one guy to come through. I mean, it's a great deal. He's literally wanted to put up both pieces of property.
Yeah.
2 free and clear properties, the one in Nevada and the one in San Francisco, because he wants to buy his dream home in Sea Ranch.
Well, you can certainly throw that one out because you have the the details of it.
Sure. Let's see what else you got. Okay. All right. Let's finish this puppy off. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Again, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hunt and Patti Cohen. Third and final trivia question. Approximately 115 tons of this enters the Earth's atmosphere each second. What?
Meteorite dust?
See, that's what I would have thought. You ready for this? Ocean salt spray.
Wow, tons.
Isn't that wild? I mean, it's kind of a misnomer. It says Earth enters the Earth's atmosphere, but I guess it's still going from the ocean to the
Right.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
Okay, so Mark, an email comes in for you. It says, how come my FICO scores don't matter that much to you?
So, well, at Pacific Private Money, we're a private money real estate lender, also referred to in the industry sometimes by people as hard money. And generally, we don't base our lending criteria on FICO scores. In other words, we don't need no stinking FICO.
That's Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
I don't think that was Blazing Saddles, but anyway,
Yeah, it
was it?
Yeah.
All right.
We don't need those stinking badges. Yeah.
So FICO scores really are, it's a bank creation. It's a financial institution creation to basically rank borrowers. You've heard me talk about this on the show before, Edward. Is to a conventional lender, you, the borrower, are really nothing more than ones and zeros. You're a FICO score, you're a W-2, you're a seasoned funds in a savings account, your 401k.
My wife thinks I'm a 10. That's a 1 and a 0.
In order for the lending industry to scale, which it did decades ago, it used to be 50, 60 years ago, you'd walk into your bank and you'd talk to your banker and you'd have a conversation, you'd tell them the story, and you'd fill out a loan application, and they would make a subjective loan to you. They would make a loan based on the knowledge of you and your standing in the community, et cetera, et cetera. Well, nowadays, loans are made by the millions, and it's all, dialed down to algorithms and formulas, and you plug in the information, and out spits a yes or no or a we need more information. Usually it's a we need more information. 6 or 8 weeks later, you might have a loan. And so, the FICO score is one way of ranking, your lendability. It's a lendability score. It's the statistical number that says how likely you are to default on a loan, and that's really how the industry has scaled and become the industry that it has been. Meanwhile, in private lending, we really haven't changed from that bank model of 50, 60 years ago. We like the story. We are still the true subjective lenders of the day. Now, we're not like the hard money lenders, generally speaking, from 10, 15 years ago, meaning that we're generally not the lender of last resort, so to speak, when you're in dire financial straits. Because quite frankly, all the new regulations that have been passed over the last 5 years under the Dodd-Frank financial reforms have kind of made it basically illegal for companies like ours to make loans to people in financial distress. So you have to prove your ability to make the monthly payments, even in hard money. But that being said, we want to hear the story. So more often than not, we'll get a quick email saying, "Hey, what are your rates and terms?" It's like, well, that's like no information, because
it's like saying, what kind of car do you want to buy?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So give us
how
a
much
call.
does the car cost?
Tell us the story. We're not going to make you take our loan over the phone. We just want to, and it's a nice, we're all our people that work for us are chatty. We're known in the industry for being very friendly, a very pain-free, painless way. give us a call. It's information gathering. If you've got a situation, a real estate situation that you're trying to figure out a plan B, because plan A, which is always conventional financing because it's the cheapest way to go, won't work in your situation. And there are hundreds of different scenarios where bank financing just won't work. It might be speed, it might be you just don't qualify to buy that particular property, but you know that you have the capacity and the capability to execute that real estate transaction or that real estate strategy. You know it, and if you could convince us that you can, more often than not, we can agree and give you a quote on how we can help make that happen for you. So again, if you're interested in how private money lending works in a real estate transaction, do give us a call at 415-883-2150. Or, of course, just go to our website, pacificprivatemoney.com, pacificprivatemoney.com, and we'd be happy to hear your story and tell you what we might be able to do. And the great thing about calling us is that we've got a huge database of alternative sources of financing, and if we can't help you, we probably know who to refer you to, so it's very rarely a dead-end call when we get a call on the phone or an email.
So you could be the first stop shop, basically.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, we're not going to take your situation and broker it out to a whole bunch of other people, because that's not what we do. It's like we're basically direct lenders, and if we can't do your deal, we'll probably say, hey, these guys here probably might be able to help you. And if they can't, they may know someone who will. So again, start the process by picking up the phone and making the call. Don't be shy. Again, we're really easy to talk to, and no one's going to twist your arm and make you take a hard money loan.
So, how do they get hold of you?
So again, pacificprivatemoney.com, or just call us, leave a message over the weekend. We'll give you a call back on Monday. We're at 415-883-2150.
We have a couple of minutes left. Give us a deal of the week.
So, well, one of the deals of the week, Edward, you and I were working on. In fact, you were working with Rick at our office. Why don't you share the details on that real quick?
Sure. There's a gentleman who wants to buy his dream home in Northern California, and he has a property actually in Nevada that's free and clear, as well as another property that's free and clear in San Francisco. The loan to value would be probably about 35%, and the problem is he needs the money fairly quickly to buy this dream home. He doesn't want to lose the opportunity.
So he's got a fast closing transaction that's
Exactly.
coming up. The due date's coming up. He can't get bank financing
That's it.
quickly enough. He owns 2 free and clear properties, and he wants to pull the cash out of those properties to buy this home.
Exactly. And there's just no bank that can work that fast.
Yeah.
So, you can give him a decent quote, decent points, and you tell him he wanted to make sure there's no prepayment penalty, and there is none, because he's paying some points up front. So, that's the way it works. It's like you're willing to let people pay you off right away if they can, throw a couple points at you.
And when you're in a market where the inventory is tight and you're competing with other offers, and particularly those that might be cash offers, what many buyers opt to do is to make their offer look like an all-cash offer. And a way to make your offer look like a cash offer is to have a hard money or private money loan in your back pocket, which can close quickly. And most listing agents that we've worked with, as well as title and escrow companies, although they may gripe a little bit when they say, I thought this was all cash, we have never lost a transaction that went into a contract as all cash, but they ended up using us to help them do a quick, non-contingent loan.
And give us a quick update on the fund, because that's still paying over 8%, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're doing monthly fund presentations at our new office space at 1555 Grant Avenue in beautiful downtown Novato in the little financial district, surrounded by Wells Fargo, B of A, Chase, and Citi. So if you want to stick your tongue out at them and as you're walking into our doors, because we can offer you 8% on your savings as opposed to the 0.0025 you're probably earning right now in your savings account if you bank with any of those four. But once a month we have about a 1-hour presentation. We always have some nice little catered food there. We had an event just last week, and so we'd love to have you give us a buzz or go to our website for more information and find out how you can learn more about the Pacific Money Fund, which has been paying for 3 years straight now, just a little over 8% on an annualized basis. In fact, our monthly distributions tend to be anywhere from 0.68 to 0.72% on average, and that's more than you earn in a year on most savings accounts, and that's just a 1 month distribution. And we make monthly distributions from the fund. So for more information, go to pacificprivatemoney.com or give us a call, 415-883-2150.
You ever thought about going to those banks and putting post notes saying "turn around and look what the rate you can get across the street"?
That's right. That's funny because Wells Fargo is right across the street. I bank there, so I'm always like, jaywalking, crossing the street. I bring my deposits over there, and I should just slap a sticker on there. Hey, turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can talk to the tellers and say, you know what? If you got any chance to send people our way, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, Patti. We have about 35 seconds left. Any news you want to share with us?
I would say the best news really is right now is a good time to sell your house. Because
Okay.
if the market really is changing,
Yeah.
it's spring, there are no listings, and we don't know where we're going to be next year or in 3 or 5 years. Sell your house.
That's a good point.
Give me a call, 415-722-4842. Patti Cohen.
Patti will help you get the highest price because she's sharp.
I'm sure.
That's why she's on the show. Because
Yeah.
you're sharp.
That's right.
Mark, any last? Got 20 seconds?
Well, pacificprivatemoney.com for more information. Also, if you do have more interest in the fund, we did launch a website for the fund itself, which can give you some direct information, and that is a different website. It's pacificmoneyfund.com. Again, all one word, pacificmoneyfund.com for more information on how you can earn 8% or more on your money.
You can always go to Best of Investing website and check out all our bios. You'll see us there. Here's our thoughts for the day. Rumpelstiltskin, remember how he kept his name secret? Do you ever think that he kept his name secret so people wouldn't make fun of it?
Yeah.
That would. And if it weren't for the fact that the TV set and the refrigerator were so far apart, I might not get any exercise at all. Unfortunately.
Right.
And I'm watching my weight. It's getting a little bit too much there. My wife said to stay in shape. I said round is a shape. Okay. Also want to make a quick mention to our friends at Pacific Trade Exchange, barter to barter exchange. Check them out. Good deal. PacificTradeExchange.com. Tune in next week to The Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away more free vacations for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.
Good job. Yay. That was short and sweet. I got so much going on.
I know. Your email's
Everybody
flying.
busy.
I know.
It's all good stuff,
I just got an offer on it. I'm basically down to one listing.